There are a lot of couples that find themselves in the position of having to live with their in-laws, whether it is due to need, cultural tradition, or financial considerations. However, despite the fact that it may present advantages, such as shared obligations and support from family members, it also presents one-of-a-kind obstacles that have the potential to substantially impact the dynamics of a couple's marriage and relationship. But the ultimate question is, does sharing a home with in-laws impact marital harmony? When a married couple has strained connections with their in-laws, marital problems are often common. Slater and Gordon, a legal company, during a study, found that nearly one-third of respondents acknowledged that problems with in-laws and extended relatives frequently are mentioned as grounds for divorce. While this may not be a shockingly high figure, it is concerning because marriage should last a lifetime and should never terminate because of problems with others outside the marriage. Having a spoiled relationship is bad for your health and your relationships in general, and it gets worse as you get older. Most of us want to be good people who lead fulfilling lives that contribute to others and the world around us. A significant number of people in the United States of America take their connections with their spouse's parents extremely seriously and believe them to be an essential component of their married life. While cohabitating with one's spouse's family members can also be detrimental to a marriage, in-laws have the potential to have a huge influence on a marriage, which can be either beneficial or harmful. The emotional and practical assistance that may be gained from having strong ties with supportive in-laws can be quite beneficial. But it is also possible for a marriage to experience stress and strain as a result of disagreements with one's in-laws, particularly when the in-laws intervene in the decision-making process of the pair or criticize their spouse. This is why it is essential for married couples to lay down clear boundaries with their in-laws and have open lines of communication regarding any problems that may occur in order to prevent these difficulties from having a bad impact on their marriage. Ways that in-laws can affect your marriage. Boundary issues. One of the most common challenges of living with in-laws is the issue of boundaries. When two families merge under one roof, it can be challenging to establish and maintain personal boundaries. This lack of privacy can lead to tension and conflicts between spouses as they struggle to navigate their relationship within the context of extended family dynamics. Role confusion. In a household with in-laws, roles and responsibilities can become blurred. Traditional gender roles may clash with modern expectations, causing friction between spouses and their extended family members. For example, disagreements may arise over who is responsible for household chores, childcare, or financial contributions. Interference in decision-making. Living with in-laws can also lead to interference in decision-making processes within the marriage. Well-meaning but unsolicited advice from in-laws can create tension between spouses and undermine their autonomy as a couple. Conflicting opinions on parenting, finances, or career choices may exacerbate this issue, leading to feelings of resentment and frustration. Conflict and contention. Finding a happy medium between marriage and issues with one's in-laws can be challenging. One of the things that can cause stress and strain in a marriage is disagreements with one's in-laws. It is essential for married couples to establish clear boundaries with their in-laws and to have open communication at all times regarding any problems that may develop. Comfort and emotional support. The presence of in-laws who are sympathetic to the couple's situation might serve as a form of emotional support for the pair when they are going through challenging situations. It is possible that the couple and their in-laws will be able to strengthen their bond with one another, which could be beneficial to both parties. Cultural and generational differences. Differences in culture, values, and generational perspectives can further complicate living arrangements with in-laws. These disparities may manifest in various aspects of daily life, including communication styles, dietary preferences, religious practices, and child-rearing philosophies. Navigating these differences requires open-mindedness, compromise, and effective communication from all parties involved. Grandparenting. Managing in-laws and marriage issues together can be a challenge, especially if you have children that you are responsible for. When it comes to their function as grandparents, in-laws could have different expectations than you as parents. When it comes to expectations and boundaries, it is essential for couples to communicate freely with one another on how in-laws interact with the children. Financial strain. While living with in-laws can offer financial relief by sharing expenses, it can also create financial strain if not managed properly. Conflicts may arise over budgeting, spending habits, and financial contributions, particularly if there is a disparity in income levels between spouses and their extended family members. Moreover, dependence on in-laws for financial support can undermine the couple's sense of independence and self-sufficiency. Financial assistance. When a married couple is in need of financial assistance, it is possible that their in-laws will be able to provide it for them. In spite of the fact that this has the potential to be beneficial, it is of the utmost importance to ensure that any financial arrangements do not place an emotional or financial weight on the marriage. Impact on intimacy. The lack of privacy and personal space in a household with in-laws can have a significant impact on the intimacy between spouses. Couples may find it challenging to maintain a romantic connection and engage in private conversations or activities. This can lead to feelings of frustration, isolation, and a sense of detachment within the marriage. Stress and mental health. The added stress of living with in-laws can take a toll on the mental health of both spouses. Constant tension, conflicts, and feelings of being overwhelmed can contribute to anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. It's essential for couples to prioritize self-care and seek support from each other and external resources to cope with the challenges of their living situation. Critique and criticism. When you are already experiencing difficulties in your marriage and your in-laws begin to focus their attention on those difficulties, things may get rather challenging. When a spouse's in-laws criticize them, it can lead to sentiments of hurt and tension in the relationship. It is essential for married couples to have open and honest conversations with their in-laws about any problems that may arise and speak with them directly. The key to a happy marriage is learning to set appropriate boundaries with in-laws. The following are suggestions for how to establish reasonable limits with your in-laws. Have open communication. Maintaining honesty is important while dealing with in-laws after being married. How you handle a disagreement with your in-laws is more important than the nature of the disagreement itself. The first step in creating reasonable limits with your in-laws is honest conversation. Tell them exactly what you need and what you expect, and be sure to hear their worries, if any also. Don't be afraid to speak up. In order to establish boundaries, assertiveness is required. In the event that your in-laws violate a boundary, you should not be scared to say so or to speak out. Be sure that your expectations are understood. For the purpose of avoiding misunderstandings, it is beneficial to provide a detailed description of your expectations. When it comes to the things that you are comfortable with and the things that you are not comfortable with, it is essential to be clear and communicate your preferences. Find a middle ground. If you want to build a good connection with your in-laws, you should try to compromise with them. Come up with solutions that cater to each other's tastes and requirements. Consider one another's boundaries. Your in-laws, similar to yourself, abide by certain limitations. Maintain your distance from them, and anticipate the same in return. Healthy boundaries with in-laws may consist of establishing visitation and phone call limits, demonstrating mutual respect for parenting styles, and refraining from intervening in one another's decision-making processes. Bear in mind that the purpose of setting boundaries with your in-laws is not to create conflict or sever ties, but to foster a respectful and healthy relationship. Despite these challenges, living with in-laws can also foster closer bonds and familial relationships if managed effectively. Setting clear boundaries, maintaining open communication, and fostering mutual respect are essential for creating a harmonious living environment. Couples must work together as a team, supporting each other through the ups and downs of navigating life with extended family members. Ultimately, with patience, understanding, and compromise, couples can overcome the challenges of living with in-laws and strengthen their marriage in the process. Thank you for watching Motivate My Marriage.